And we do it all in sync like a TikTok dance. And everybody can go, we can take that chance. Turn off the blue light, cause ain't no more specials. We sail across the world in a two-person vessel. Our own expedition, a secret little mission. These niggas shoes crooked, but they standing on business. Listen.
Hey girl, just put your sexy body close to mine. This love is so strong, it must be highly divine. Love is the frequency that keeps this thing alive. It's automatic, baby, we don't even have to try. I don't wanna be without you. I'd rather not be without you. Baby girl, I'm all about you.
Sing and sway to R&B on Marvin's Room. Move and groove to the rhythm of Saturday Night Jazz. Crest with the best next wave of indigenous music on Reclaim. Savor the flavor of the francophone world on C'est Formidable. And treasure the arias and encores on Tempo Weekends. Saturday night means music on CBC Radio 1 and on the CBC Listen app.
I'm Adrienne Arsenault in Las Vegas, the city that Celine Dion effectively rebuilt. For the first time since her diagnosis with stiff person syndrome, she sits down to talk about what it's been like for her and what's coming. Join us on Canada's newscast tonight on CBC News Network and CBC Gem.
From CBC News, The World This Hour, I'm Julianne Hazelwood. We begin in Ottawa.
There are a number of MPs who have knowingly provided help to foreign governments, some to the detriment of Canada and Canadians.
NDP leader Jagmeet Singh says he's even more concerned about foreign interference now that he's read the unredacted report. He also says he was a target. The National Security and Intelligence Committee of Parliamentarians released a heavily redacted document earlier this month, alleging some parliamentarians actively helped foreign governments meddle in Canadian politics. Singh got security clearance and now has seen the unredacted report.
Some of this behavior absolutely appears to be criminal and should be prosecuted. The Prime Minister has had access to intelligence that raises concerns about MPs knowingly benefiting from foreign interference. He may disagree with that intelligence, but I believe he has not taken the steps he should have to deal with this. He has sent the message that he is willing to accept some level of foreign interference.
The NDP leader also denounced Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre for refusing to get security clearance, saying he's refusing to learn about serious allegations involving his party. Canada is contributing $5 billion to a G7 initiative aimed at helping Ukraine push back against Russia's invasion. The Prime Minister and other leaders are finalizing a deal to use frozen Russian assets to finance Kyiv's military efforts. Rafi Boudjikanian has more from the G7 summit in Italy.
It's a real pleasure to see you as always.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau seeing Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky has become a bit of a habit, but it's not usually during a summit of the world's wealthiest economies.
Thank you so much, Justin. Thank you for your support.
In Fasano, Italy on Thursday, the G7 announced they together contribute some $50 billion US to Ukraine's war effort. Canada's part is some $5 billion Canadian dollars, money that will be repaid by the interest from frozen Russian assets.
Противоправные инициативы, связанные с
The move's got Moscow threatening retaliation.
Кроме того, европейского
Foreign Affairs spokesperson Maria Zakharova called it an illegal initiative and saying Moscow could well freeze European assets on its territory, showing for every ounce of help the G7 provides to its ally, it may provoke further escalation. Rafi Boudjikanian, CBC News, Bari, Italy.
The U.S. Supreme Court will not impose new restrictions on abortion pills. As Katie Simpson tells us, a push by anti-abortion groups to limit access was rejected in a unanimous ruling.
A group of well-known anti-abortion advocates and doctors had argued before the U.S. Supreme Court that the Food and Drug Administration was too lax in how it regulated mifepristone, claiming the abortion pill was harmful to women and access should be restricted. The court unanimously rejected the challenge, a decision based mostly in procedure, saying this group had no legal right to make their case.
And use of this medication has been growing consistently. It now makes up about 63% of all abortions in the U.S.
University of California professor Dr. Ushma Upadhyay says it's false to claim the pill hurts patients, citing more than 100 peer-reviewed studies. This decision is the first win for abortion rights advocates at the U.S. Supreme Court since it overturned Roe v. Wade in 2022. Katie Simpson, CBC News, Washington.
Canada's border workers have reached a tentative agreement with the federal government. They have been without a contract for 2 years. The 4-year deal includes a total wage increase of more than 15% and more protections for workers relating to technological changes. More than 9,000 workers at the CBSA were ready to begin job action later this week. A ratification vote will be scheduled in the coming days. And that is your world this hour. For CBC News, I'm Julianne Hazelwood. Good afternoon. I'm Amy Bell, sitting in for Gloria Makarenko, and you are listening to On the Coast. Coming up in this half hour, BC United continues to take the hits this week, dropping a candidate for controversial comments and losing staff to the BC Conservatives. Our Soapbox Social will share their takes just after the news. And before that, Darius Madadi will join us to talk about the weather all across BC. Right now, Robert Zimmerman is here with a look at the local news.
Amy, Premier David Eby says the province is considering joining Newfoundland and Labrador's court case against the federal government over equalization payments. Uber says some of the regulation changes for app-based rideshare and delivery workers in BC will drive up costs. And Van City is cutting nearly 200 jobs. More local news coming up at the bottom of the hour.
Thank you very much, Robert. And it's been a busy one out in the roads, and Caroline Chan's been keeping an eye on it all.
Well, I have a new incident to report in Burnaby, hearing of a stalled vehicle blocking southbound Canada Way at Edmonds, and that's adding to the afternoon rush. Traffic there is backed up past Imperial. Staying in Burnaby, there is an incident eastbound Lougheed before Production Way. Don't have much more information on that, but it is causing traffic to back up to Lake City Way. And I am waiting for an update on that down power line on Kingsway at Marlborough. That's west of Royal Oak. Traffic in all directions are affected. Best to avoid that area if you can.
Thank you very much, Caroline. And we have Darius Madadi joining us now. He is our science and climate specialist here at CBC. How are we looking out there today, Darius? Well, first of all, hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Great. It was nice to be out in the sunshine today.
Yes, so much sunshine. It's been so lovely.
It has been.
We're going to have a little break from it,
Okay.
but it will return.
All right.
Yes, tomorrow or tonight we start to see some of that cloud build in. Probably within the next few hours we'll start to get a little bit cloudier. By tomorrow we've got lots of cloud in the morning. There's a chance of showers in the morning and into the afternoon, but it doesn't look like it's going to be anything too serious. By sort of tomorrow mid to late afternoon, early evening, we start to clear up a little bit. There'll be a few breaks in the clouds, a little bit more blue sky, a little bit of sunshine. Saturday, some proper rain, more likely, or no, I don't think it'll be proper rain. I think it'll be still some showers, probably more consistent than Friday, than tomorrow, but still breaks in, still lots of dry periods. And then as we get into, sorry, that's for Metro Vancouver. If you're in the valley, it will be proper rain. That's the distinction to make. Otherwise, Squamish and Whistler, also probably just some showers. And then for Sunday, we may be seeing the early morning some showers. A few places may be lingering a little bit later than that, especially in the valley. But then we start to clear up a little bit more, a little bit sunnier. Towards the end of Sunday, we have got some sunny skies, and that is going to hold into